The Labour Party in the UK 6 months ago, who would have thought that Jeremy Corbyn would be gaining as much momentum as he is? Hundreds of thousands of people, particularly young people, are joining the Labour Party, and they do have now what they call a manifesto. If you go online, you'll see it is a massive amount of information that people have worked very diligently on. So, to that point, let's get into solutions here and let's start talking about these platforms. First of all, George Kallas is our political analyst here for the Nowman show, comparing let's say the Bernie Sanders platform, the Green Party platform, and the UK Labour Party platform. How would you contrast these?
Well, in my point of view, looking at the Corbyn victory and going over the manifesto, what I discovered is that they have it very well organized, they have it very detailed, and they have, I would not say progressive, they actually have very close to what I would call a near socialist concept in Britain, of all places, which is kind of the neoliberal capital of Europe, especially the city of London. It's kind of like our Wall Street. And it took the conservative Tories for a loop, because he had such an outpouring of young voters when he promoted this manifesto, which was part of the platform that he used. And the core of it is something that we're talking about here, is economic democracy, where he went back to the, I believe it was 1976, policy of trying to make industrial level co-ops. I think it was in the aircraft industry at that time.
That's right.
Right. And he wants to bring that back. Well, what happened was you had the Thatcher era, essentially in the 1980s, that came in and was kind of the neoliberal revolution that demolished a lot of the public ownership in the British economic sector. And then you had their versions of the corporate Democrats, was New Labour under Blair. He was kind of their version of Bill Clinton. In fact, they're very close, especially in the 1990s.
Yeah.
And so what
Personally,
they did, right,
close.
exactly. What Blair did essentially went towards a neoliberal direction, was essentially continuing, as some Brits say, essentially Thatcher's policy for her. In fact, I believe there was one quote by Margaret Thatcher. She said, actually, her greatest, result of her administration was creating the new Labour Party. Okay, so you have a lot of parallels between the two, and that's the crisis we're facing today, because the corporate Democrats under the Clinton dynasty, if you will, lost the election last year.